Divine Holiness, Paramahamsa Nithyananda, is a born yogi. He's a living incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism. He has taken birth to bring back the context and authenticate the lifestyle of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. A large component of this lifestyle is yoga. Through Nithyananda Yoga, he's bringing back the authentic yoga, gifting to humanity the very science that has been lost, allowing individuals to experience the powers, state, and space of the divine, Paramashiva.
Nithyananda Yoga is based off of Shashtanga Yoga, not Ashtanga Yoga. Unlike the Ashtanga Yoga developed by Patanjali, Sadashiva's Shashtanga Yoga requires the presence and initiation of the Guru. Only then the Shashtanga Yoga starts. For the past several hundred years, the world has had to make do with lower levels of yogic practices. It is for this reason that despite millions of people practicing yogic techniques for years, we have yet to come across the beings who effortlessly radiate the exalted yogic state and powers of Paramashiva. After all, Paramashiva's Shashtanga Yoga requires the presence of a living avatar to initiate disciples into his lofty state and space. Hence, it wasn't until His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda revealed Nithyananda Yoga that the original form of yoga was revived. It is not about building or achieving a yogic state after years of practice. Instead, it begins from the state of Paramashiva, based on initiation from the avatar, to manifest the state, space, and powers of Paramashiva. Accordingly, His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda infuses so much of Paramashiva's energy in us through processes, techniques, and initiations that extraordinary possibilities naturally express through us. When His Divine Holiness transmits the highest conscious experience to us, we enjoy the experience and expression of Paramashiva, called Shaktis, as a lifestyle.
The energy of the divine gushes into your system through as a powerful cognition. Understand? Cessation of the mind. Chitta vritti nirodha can never happen from there to here. It can happen only from here to there.
This authentic yoga has a backbone of 4 levels of yoga with 12 inbuilt components. The Pratama Vinyasa Krama, the Dvitya Vinyasa Krama, Tritya Vinyasa Krama, and Chaturtha Vinyasa Krama are the 4 main sequences of Nithyananda Yoga. But Nithyananda Yoga doesn't stop there. His Divine Holiness is also revealing various other ancient dimensions of yoga that exist on the pole, rope, ground, water, air, and more. The revival of these authentic forms of yoga allows you to experience the anti-sex with Paramashiva, which is described in the sacred scriptures of Shashtanga Yoga. It literally guides one to a super conscious breakthrough. Then, only the true experience of yoga happens through the manifestation of the powers of Paramashiva. This is how authentic yoga is identified.
Understand? Yoga is nothing but union with cosmos.
It's where I sit.
It is so unfortunate. The word union is very poorly mapped and understood just for physical sex. Please understand. Sex is poor man's version of union. When you don't know anything, you just do that. That's it. Union is rich man's version of sex. It is much beyond body. Biggest problem in the modern day is amputated yoga. Understand, this is the word I use. Amputated yoga. The angas of yoga is cut and packaged. Amputated yoga is the most danger to the modern day. We need to give the original yoga as it is complete to the world. Yoga is the science which makes the divine to connect with you. Listen, not you to divine. No. I'll tell you. If you think man to divine, you will be man forever. In spirituality, where you start, you will remain there forever. So start in right place. Never man to divine. It is always divine to man. Precisely in my Atma Pramana, I'll tell you yoga. What is yoga? Strong cognitions exploding into your system and changing your whole brain's alchemy, putting you in the space beyond any description, and release such intense ecstasy into your system is yoga from my experience. The postures, stretching your body, everything is
start session.
Nithyananda everyone, welcome to this segment of Nithya Kriyas and Happy International Day. And in this segment, we are going to learn about care and cure for depression. With the blessings and trainings from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivan's blessings, let's start with this segment of Nithya Kriya, cure and care for depression. So let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So let's understand some basic concepts about health. Your belief is your health in Hinduism. Health, as many of us feel, that it is not just the absence of illness. It is something more than that. It is well-being. Just because you are not in the hospital, the absence of disease does not mean you are healthy. First truth, that is the first thing that we all need to understand. Just because we are not hospitalized, we think we are healthy. The second truth, health is a state of physical, psychological, emotional, and spiritual well-being, where you feel life is good. The way you feel about you is very important for your health. But if you have a wrong idea about you, that itself can destroy your health. Not only the active pattern, the passive beliefs that you have also affects your system, also affects your health. The passive beliefs alone can raise the bad cholesterol. For example, if you believe, I cannot walk fast, I can only walk slow, I cannot lift weight, I'm too old, Just these kind of beliefs are enough to build bad cholesterol in you. Your beliefs, even if they're passive, can build a disease in you. You build nativities in you. So your health is just the expression of what you believe as you. Even your medicine is what you believe as you. So what is optimum health? As per Hinduism, optimum health meaning body is not only functioning perfectly, the possibility of disease happening should not be there. This is what is optimum health. First thing required for optimum health is oxygen. Your body is made up of trillions of cells. Each one of them requires a steady flow of oxygen. Oxygen is so important. Even a few seconds of disturbance in oxygen supply, cells can cause a disease. Every cell needs steady flow of oxygen. Unfortunately, most of us, even though we are breathing, we don't take the oxygen completely. It's a very shallow breathing. Oxygen supply to each cell is such an important necessity. Not only we don't supply enough oxygen to trillions of cells in our body, we go on disturbing it. In Siddha tradition, there is a beautiful description that every time you visualize a certain negative idea in your system, for example, you visualize an accident, then even every such time, one part of your body does not get oxygen supply. The moment you create stressful, negative thought current, immediately the system responds to it and the oxygen supply to many parts of your body drastically gets reduced. So in Vedic tradition, we go one step beyond oxygen. We call it prana. Prana is the food for the mitochondria in your cell. Oxygen is necessary for your cell, but the subtle part of the cell, which we call as prana, is required. That is why when you do pranayama or when your Kundalini Shakti is awakened by initiation, your mitochondria cell energy goes up and automatically you start experiencing optimum health and anti-aging. Breathing is a basic thing required for health. Infusing the life energy, that is called prana in Sanskrit, into your system is the most sacred secret for optimum health, for your physical, mental well-being, and for enlightenment itself. If you start breathing consciously, nothing else is required. If proper breathing is taught, thousands of your diseases will disappear. Human beings need basic training for breathing. This whole Nithya Kriya is based on breathing. How your whole body can be supplied with intense prana, the life energy, which comes with the air that we breathe. The subtle part of the oxygen how it not only your mitochondria cell energy, your very DNA can be awakened, made to live through proper breathing. Hinduism is the most ancient, most peaceful, still living, and long lasting demonstrable system that shows the possibility of peaceful coexistence amongst people despite fundamental differences in their preferences and realities. And these solutions from Hinduism are time tested and foolproof. Over the last 50 years, the effects of meditation and its significant impact on stress, crime rates, violence, political decision making, and even war in local and global consciousness is well established. Unfortunately, last 200 years, forcefully we are made to believe Hinduism is functional principle only for enlightenment and spirituality. It is absolutely dysfunctional for the political, social, and economical system, making Hindu family structure, Hindu social structure dysfunctional is the greatest crime done against humanity. Hinduism was once practiced freely over 56 nations across the continent from Afghanistan, India, Nepal, Burma, Sri Lanka, all the way to Singapore, Malaysia, and Cambodia and Indonesia, and in 200 states, 1700 samsthanas, that is provinces, and 10,000 sampradayas, which are traditions. For the last 27 years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the living incarnation of Paramashiva, who has revived the authentic solutions from the source scriptures of Hinduism, Vedas, and Agamas through Kailasa, the ancient Hindu civilizational nation. Nithya Kriya. What is Nithya Kriya? Nithya Kriya is a unique and ancient combination of components of Nithyananda Yoga that include asanas, that means the yoga postures, pranayama, that is breathing techniques, visualization, both external verbalization, that is mantras, and external sound. The mantras of external sound vibration one hears or chant. And the internal verbalization, that is internally hearing of sound or mantra. These kriyas derived from the ancient source scriptures of Hinduism are decoded and revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, in the span of 18 years via 981 plus programs, sessions, and initiatives in 186 countries. This series of Nithya Kriya manuals comprise of cares and cures. The cares are preventive and cures cure the diseases for the most common as well as the fatal physical and mental diseases and disorders. The cure, which is generally the cure, and the care, which is preventive. Nithya Kriya work respectively for each condition or disorder. Even though the desired result might be experienced within a few days of practicing, or all Nithya Kriyas are also be practiced for 21 days consecutively. The Nithya Kriyas preserve and deliver the original yogic practices which are born out of millennia of research and development and our contribution and sorry for the technical glitch. Sorry for the technical glitch. So the constant flow of energy that happens continuously in your body through the 72,000 subtle energy channels called nadis, making up the energy circuit of the body. The circuit is governed by the Kundalini energy. Kundalini energy is the immense potential energy present in each of us that acts like a water pump that helps complete this energy circuit. Kundalini can be thought of as every individual's hotline to the infinite cosmic energy source. Once awakened by the appropriate yogic practices and the guidance and the grace of the Guru, the Kundalini showers a host of blessings on the practitioner, including a big boost of energy levels, physical well-being, the falling away of negative mental patterns, true inner fulfillment, and a deep connection to the universal source. If there is a disturbance in the energy flow in some part of the body, there is impedance to the energy flow to the rest of the body, resulting in the onset of the diseases, disorders, and the disturbances in the body. Nithya Kriyas are powerful tools which help remove these energy blockages, restoring the life energy flow, that is prana. When the body is aligned in certain postures during the Nithya Kriyas, the energy block is removed and realigned. Once the block is removed, the Kundalini energy gets pumped into the circuit during the Kumbhakas. When energy flow is re-established, the disease or disturbance is healed. If your body allows you to do what you are supposed to do, only then you are healthy. Health is not at all about 18-inch biceps and 8-pack. It is all about, is your body aligning to your purpose? That is health. Let your idea about health be established on cosmic principles. Hinduism has strengthened and redefined the ideas of physical health, psychological healing, spiritual counseling, helping human beings mentally, emotionally, and psychologically by operating with the single unified goal of facilitating every individual to explore their ultimate possibility by enlightening them with the sciences elaborated in the timeless Hindu source scriptures called Vedas and Agamas. Now let us understand the significance of the Nithya Kriyas. For overall good health and well-being, Hinduism has solutions that can be easily practiced and incorporated in daily life. The healing achieved by Nithya Kriyas is permanent as it works on the cellular biomemory level. It generates natural steroids and therefore has no negative side effects. So what are the spiritual roots of Nithya Kriyas? Nithya Kriya is soundly anchored in the sacred yoga scriptures, including the legendary Patanjali Yoga Sutras, as well as the three classic texts that form the base of yoga, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Geranda Samhita, and Shiva Samhita. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is the foundational text of yoga, written by the father of the yoga, the enlightened sage Patanjali. This esoteric and highly practical text is based on Sankhya Yoga. It is said to date back to the 2nd century BC, although it is believed to be far more ancient. Patanjali Yoga Sutras emphasize the value of yoga as a lifestyle through Ashtanga Yoga, that is 8-limbed yoga. Patanjali Yoga Sutras are useful even after 5,000 years. They are time-tested and foolproof and still produce the intended results for hundreds of yogis around the world. Hatha Yoga Pradipika, the next one. This is the classic 15th century Sanskrit Hatha Yoga text written by Swami Swatma Rama, a disciple of Swami Gorakhnath. This book is dedicated to the Adinada or Bhagavan Paramashiva, who is said to have revealed the secrets of Hatha Yoga to his divine consort Devi Paramashiva Shakti. Hatha Yoga Pradipika contains 4 major Upadesha as teachings, which reveal the correct understanding and practice of asanas, pranayamas, chakras, bandhas, kriyas, shakti, nadis, mudras, and kundalini. The next is Kiranda Samhita. This is also a classical Sanskrit Hatha Yoga text. It is a practical yoga manual said to have been taught by the sage Gheranda to Chanda Kapali. Gheranda Samhita text has 7 chapters. It advocates a sevenfold yoga: Shatkarma, Asana, Pranayama, Mudra, Pratyahara, Dhyana, and Samadhi, where each chapter elaborates on one of 7 folds of Hatha Yoga. This is also a classic Sanskrit Hatha Yoga text. The other text that Nithya Kriya draws from includes Kumbhaka Paddhati or Raghu Veera, Yoga Kundalini Upanishad, Yoga Chudamani Upanishad, Yoga Taravali, Jnana Pradipika, Yogasana Mala Sachitra. Kailasa works towards availing this science of the 108 Nithya Kriya through the Nithya Kriya Care and Cure series to the world with the aim to safely and scientifically awaken and harness the Kundalini energy in the body through these self-administered healing techniques. As Kundalini is a self-healing mechanism, the practitioners of Nithya Kriya will find that not only their health and life problems diminish or disappear, but the very patterns that cause the disease are rooted out by the overflowing of superconsciousness energy as the being goes through a superconsciousness mutation process. The other text of Nithya Kriya draws from includes this. We already done this. Over the years, Nithya Kriya has made extraordinary progress in recognizing, diagnosing, and treating mental illnesses as well as severe psychological distress. Kailasa's Department of Health is committed to building on that success by matching humanity's hardships with equally magnanimous responsibility by improving the quality of healthcare for all the Hindus through the science of Nithya Kriya. It is the policy of Kailasa's Department of Health to work towards the unified goal of bringing excellence to the healthcare provisions to its citizens by providing them with the best services towards the well-being so they can achieve success and prosperity, untimely contributing to the world, ultimately contributing to the world. Now let us see some of the testimonials of the devotees who practice these Nithya Kriyas over the period of years. The first testimonial is from Ma Sakshi Pramana, is from Ma Alicia Morrissey from USA. She shares that in February 2011, I attended my first program with Swamiji, Live Bliss 1, over two-way video conferencing, which he was conducting himself. This was my breakthrough experience, instantly giving me a strong feeling connection to Swamiji and was beginning of my new life. Then my feeling connection becomes stronger when Swamiji released Nithya Kriya, which has forever changed my life. I practice it daily and still do it to this day because the technique works wonders for me. It filled me with so much positive energy and auspiciousness, and also made me have a first levitation experience. I felt more energetic, vibrant, happier, focused, peaceful, and healthier. Everything changed for me and become a brand new person. Depression has left me, and I'm finally letting go of all my anxiety built up over my so many years. All thanks to this amazing gift from Swamiji. And we have another testimonial from Perumala Paramanathan from Toronto, Canada. Nithya Kriya helped me get rid of my problems. Nithyanandam, I'm Perimala Paramanathan from Toronto, Canada. I want to share my experience with you. I have had diabetics for the last 16 years, and it had been very high for the last 3 years. Normal blood sugar is between 5 and 6 for me. It is more than 15, so I was worried. So when I heard about this diabetic Nithya Kriya, I was so happy, and I attended a 1-week workshop at Toronto Temple. I'm amazed to see my sugar levels come down. And in the mornings, it is always between 5 and 6. And the doctor has reduced my medication to half. Now, not only did my sugar level come down, my mind and body improved. And I am so thankful to Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you. Thank you. And another testimonial is from Ricardo. Says that Nithya Kriya helped me to get rid of my problems. 63 years old Ricardo reported that he had been suffering from the age of 33, while recently he was introduced to Nithya Kriya about 4 months ago by his neighbor, a disciple of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam. Ricardo says he came to my house and taught me how I had to do it. And before I started the exercise, I checked my sugar level and it was 350. I did the exercise, and the way he taught me to do it, when I finished it, I checked my sugar level and it was 85. I have never seen something reduce my sugar level so rapidly. Usually I have to walk around the neighborhood for half an hour to 1 hour. Even then, I have to put a lot of insulin to reduce my sugar level. This is extraordinary, Ricardo says. When I went to see the doctor and see how I was doing while using this 5 units of insulin and doing the exercise daily in the morning, it was a miracle. My doctor asked, only 5 units of insulin? And I said, yes, 5 units. Doctor said, great. Continue with this, just 5 units each normally eat. Ricardo also stated that he had blood sugar levels between 300 to 400, and every day he would take 45 units of insulin in the morning and 25 units in the afternoon. Sometimes he had to call the ambulance and be hospitalized with the dangerously high and low sugar levels. Now he's feeling so good. He's going back to work at the age of 63. So now it's time to practice the Kriya. Now, this Kriya, we are going to learn the Kriya for depression. This Nithya Kriya for depression helps you to care, that means prevention from depression. And if you're already suffering from depression, cure for that. So let's understand now care for depression. Prevention for depression. So before that, disclaimer is the flow of the Nithya Kriya. So it's a continuous process. Follow these steps. Do not break in between until the entire segment of the Kailasa's Nithya Kriya is officially completed. The following Kriya is recommended to be followed for at least 21 to 42 days on a daily basis to achieve the desired results. This technique is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical diagnosis or treatment. Individuals with any type of medical condition, the elderly, children below age 14, women and the pregnant are suspect they are pregnant, they may be pregnant, that are advised to seek professional medical advice before practicing this technique. Viewers who are not on two-way video conferencing are cautioned that they are practicing these techniques at their own risk. Now, if you see the statistics, what is depression? About the depression or clinical depression is a mental state of low mood with aversion to activity, which affects the individual's thoughts, feelings, behavior, and sense of well-being. Depression is a psychiatric disorder which is characterized by the feelings of extreme sadness, helplessness, hopelessness, despair, guilt, insomnia, loss of energy, loss of appetite, or everything. Inability to concentrate or focus, withdrawal from social contact, irritability, low self-esteem, discouragement, and thoughts of death, and finally suicide. So depression may result as a reaction to a particular negative life experience, such as loss of loved one, physical illness, loss of job, relationship troubles, or social isolation. It may also result as a side effect to drugs or medical treatments. These former cases may not require professional treatment. Prolonged depressive mood may lead to a medical condition such as a mood disorder, in which case professional help of an individual is required. Treatment vary according to subdivisions of depression as determined by the severity and length of affliction. See some of the statistics in the world today. Everyone should know that 300 million people worldwide experience depression according to the World Health Organization. 3.1 million people between ages, especially the adolescent ages 12 to 17 in the US, have experienced at least one major depressive episode in the past year, and 8.7 women have depression and 5.3 men have depression. According to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's own words, please start the process, Nithya Kriya. Let the Kundalini energy in you all be intensely awakened. Let you all be programmed for joy and excitement and energy. Let the pattern of depression break in all of you. Let the pattern of depression be destroyed in all of you. Now we are going to learn the care for depression. That is prevention for depression. This has got 5 steps. You have to do, remember, you have to do all these steps consecutively, continuously. The first step of these 5 steps is prana mudra. Second is deep breathing. Third is mula bandha. Fourth is the breathing technique 1. Fifth step is breathing technique 2. All these 5 steps for prevention, care for depression. So we're going to demonstrate this. I'm going to explain, and you're also going to see that demonstration of this Nithya Kriya for care for depression. First step, prana mudra. Prana mudra technique is sit in Padmasana, that is lotus posture. That is, bend your knees, place your left feet on your right thigh and right feet on your left thigh. Keep your eyes closed and focus on your breath. Keep your hands on your thighs. Touch the tip of your ring finger and little finger to your thumb. Index and middle fingers should be pointed straight. Feel the life force as it rushes through your body. Stay on this pose for 3 minutes. Now, the next step, next technique, close. Next step is close your eyes. Inhale and exhale as deeply as possible. Repeat this breathing technique
to reverse the aging process. Now we have the Shastra Pramana, the evidence from the scriptures, original scriptures for Brahma Muhurta.
It is taken from Ashtanga Hridaya. It says, Brahmi Muhurtam Utishe Brahma Muhurtam Utishehit Swastho Rakshar Swastho Rakshartham Ayusha Tatra Sarvartha Shantyartham Smarecha Madhusudanam, which means one should wake up in the Brahma Muhurta for sustaining perfect health and for achieving a long lifespan as desired. Since you are half awake and half asleep at that time, the biomemory and muscle memory is most receptive to change in cognition, remove self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial, that is SDHD, and create the reality you want to hold the space for. The logic is not thick enough. The Atma Pramana by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Early morning, the period of Brahma Muhurta, where the so-called reality, waking state has not become 100% real for you, and the dream state has yet not become 100% dream state for you. When you are just moving in between the Brahma Muhurta, that is morning 4:30 a.m. to 6 a.m., where your inner space, some moments is in waking state, some moments in the dream state, make use of that time to infuse some ideas into your system. The Brahma Muhurta consciousness is unique time and space when the material out of which you are made of is available for alteration, transformation, and manipulation. It is as though it is liquid. Hence, anything you try to infuse into your inner space goes in very easily. Just like a needle moves into the banana, it can easily enter into your system. For example, when you feel you do not have enough wealth, you can try to play and infuse with the idea, let me manifest wealth during Brahma Muhurta. It will not take more than 3 or 4 days to realize that you are setting the trend and thought current of what you want to express in what Brahma Muhurta time. The SPH says that sleeping during Brahma Muhurta means wasting one's life. During Brahma Muhurta, you should not entertain the thought currents which are not directly conducive for your life, because whatever you entertain during that time becomes part of you. Understanding you and the stuff out of which your life is made is ultimately from you, and realizing that you can transform, manifest, manipulate, play around, do everything you want with the stuff out of which your life is made is Kundalini awakening. Waking up at Brahma Muhurta is a powerful spiritual practice that can lead an individual to this experience. Atma Pramana by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam. The best body, best mind you manifest with Tyaga. When I say wake up in Brahma Muhurta 4:30 to 6 a.m., if you give up your sleep, that Tyaga makes your DNA to develop into the material selection process, take up the quantum jump, which will make your brain never fall into coma. You will be alive and aware even when you go into dream, deep sleep, and even when you leave the body. That is Icha Mrityutva, the death by will given to you if you wake up in Brahma Muhurta. Anybody wakes up in Brahma Muhurta, it's sun's energy, Surya Karanas. The gift of sun is the early morning sunrise time, the energy he gives and the light he showers. Whoever wakes up in the Brahma Muhurta and eats that sun's gift is given Icha Vidyatva. Next section, cleansing and detoxifying. Cleansing, detoxifying, and purifying the body. Yoga is a science of awakening the Kundalini Shakti, the infinite potential energy which lays dormant within us all. However, like a pipe with clots in it, our body has energy clots in many of the 72,000 nadis. Thus, before we even begin to move our body on the mat, to absorb and retain as much prana as possible, the yogi should first cleanse and detoxify their body as a daily ritual in itself. Again, Apta Pramana from Hata Pradipika of Swatma Rama. We will quickly go through these. It means when all the network of the impure nadis get purified, then alone the yogi becomes capable of retaining prana. Atma Pramana by the SPH. Understand Shakti Pada is rekindling the energy component of you and that component taking over your body and mind. Prepare your body through yoga and Panchakriya. Prepare your mind with Vedic software, integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching. Always be in the space of responsibility and enriching. Shuddhi Kriya. Shuddhi Kriyas involve 4 powerful cleaning processes to remove toxins and impurities from the system. Just like how we take a shower every day to clean the external parts of our body, Panchakriya is a process which cleanses the internal organs of our body, keeping it cool. These techniques not only cleanse our body, but bring peace and balance to our mind and lightness and bliss to our being, which is why during programs, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism insists that all the participants do Shuddhi Kriyas every day so that the heat created during the Kriyas and energy darshans can be removed and so that the body is able to hold the energy permanently. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, you just need to keep your stomach clean and light, nothing else. You just need to carry your body gracefully, nothing else. Panchakriya is a technique embodying purification. Once you complete Panchakriya, you will feel the whole body is pure. Panchakriya cleanses the body and the Haritaki powder is said to activate the non-mechanical parts of the brain. The Supreme Pontiff also says, our morning Panchakriya is not just taking bath, it is detoxification process, decalcification process. Applying Vibhuti and Kumkum is decalcification. Taking the Jalabasti, Neti, all that Kriyas is detoxification. Detoxification, decalcification, put together is Panchakriya. Now, first of these Shuddhi Kriyas is Jalabasti. The Supreme Pontiff revealed in a Vakyartha Sadas a direct Shastra Pramana from Paramashiva himself on the benefits of Jalabasti, which took place between a Saptarishis and Devi in the presence of Sadashiva. They were discussing about psychology and health. One Rishi made a statement, if your stomach is heavy, do not believe it is fat. And then he strongly stated, it is a poo, it is not fat. Then Devi asked, what is the percentage? And the Rishi responds, 3/4 is a fat and 1/4 is the mala. And then that's when Paramashiva introduced the powerful benefits of Jalabasti. Paramashiva said, the food which is not digested in the last 48 hours is what we call as mala. The food which is not digested for few years is called fat. He says, Jalabasti melts both. Enema melts both. It cleanses both. To that detail, please understand everything you are going to do is to make you manifest Paramashivatva. Today, the modern science even shows that enema can support weight loss, remove toxins and heavy metals from your body, improve your skin, immunity, blood pressure, and even energy levels. Apta Pramana for Jalabasti, which means one adopts Katasana in navel deep water. After inserting a tube in the anus, one manipulates the anus to raise the apana, vayu, upwards. This is Basti Karma. Another Shuddhi Kriya, the next one is Jalaneti. Powerful cleansing technique, Jalaneti easily removes the mucus and pollutants from your nasal passage and sinuses and allows air, prana to flow without obstruction. Many people notice how this helps relieve allergies, cold and sinusitis, and even claims that it prevents and manages other diseases of the respiratory tract like asthma, pneumonia, bronchitis, and pulmonary tuberculosis. On top of this, Swamiji has said that this also is able to subtly cleanse the third eye, Agnya Chakra, as the purifying water passes through that region. Apta Pramana for general Neti, which means the process of Neti quickly cleanses the frontal sinuses, offers clear eyesight, and rids one of the hosts of diseases occurring in the region above shoulders. Netra Shuddhi, eyes. This is the next among the Pancha Kriyas, the next Shuddhi Kriya. Netra Shuddhi, eyes easily become overused and tired from being constantly subjected to external stimuli like bright lights from the computer and TV screen, poor indoor lighting, and the irritants of air pollution like smoke, dust, and fire. Acuity of vision is reduced in tired, irritated eyes. This can result headaches, migraine, general fatigue, irritability, squinting, and eye strain, impacting health and quality of life. Benefits of Netra Shuddhi. Cleansing removes accumulated dust particles, eye secretions, and body heat that irritate the eyes, reducing itching, eye strain, redness, and burning sensation, making them feel cool and fresh. It reduces puffiness around the eyes and even helps in the prevention of conditions such as cataracts. It also has a relaxing effect on an anxious mind. Netra Shuddhi continues. The technique is fill clean eye cup with pure cool water. Bend forward and bring cup to the eye. Eyeball is now in the water. Rotate the eyeball and blink several times. Alternatively, after making sure the eye cup fits the eye socket snugly, lift the chin, open the eye and rotate the eyeball, blinking several times for 20 to 30 seconds. If there is a slight burning sensation, stop the cleansing. Bring head forward and remove the cup from the eye. Repeat the same with other eye. Change out the water between eyes. Repeat 2 to 3 times for each eye as needed. This is again the Apta Pramana from Bhava Prakasha, which means, as per the Akashic revelation, when taken after the food, Haritaki immediately negates and removes all the negative effects of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha that arises out of the food we ate. Atma Pramana from the Supreme Pontiff. The oxygen level in the blood increases to 300%. The main thing is the whole blood becomes pure. 300% oxygen means equivalent to 2 hours of pranayama. Made of the powdered nut of the Kaduka tree, native to India, this medicine works in a subtle way on the mind as well, wiping away all the engraved memories, samskaras, and negative mental patterns, helping one to become aware of the inauthenticities and complete with their root patterns. Now, next is ceremonial baths. After rising out of bed, one should always first take a bath or shower and cleanse the body of any or all impurities. Yoga is sometimes referred to as a practice. However, it is actually a Hindu ritual. And before all rituals, the sadhaka, the spiritual practitioner, should cleanse the body. On the physical level, this opens up the pores of the skin, but on the spiritual level, it opens the being up to receiving the higher divine energies. Atma Pramana from the Supreme Pontiff. Prana, which is in the form of water, comes to you when you take baths, when you wash your body. Understand, not when you drink liquids. Liquids bring only the solid, the Bhu Prana, not the Jala Prana. Jala Prana gets into the system only through skin, especially your lower body. The private parts of the body need to experience the pressure of large quantity of water to heal itself, rejuvenate itself, and breathe Jala Prana. It is one of the powerful rejuvenation detoxification method. More Atma Pramana regarding the ceremonial baths. The next section, we move to where to practice yoga. Pramanas again, which means in the places such as a solitary house, charming monastery, auspicious temple charged with divinity, bank of river, not frequented by the people, one's own house, unapproachable dense forest, sequestered place hidden by the trees, places free from the disturbing sounds, and a quiet place free from the presence of humans, animals, insects, and so forth, in the place free from those which cause hindrances and disturbances to yoga practice, in the places which are not owned by others, and in the places well protected from the scorching heat of the sun, the sadhaka should commence the yoga practice. Tying the hair. Before beginning every yoga ritual, the yogi should tie their head on top of the Sahasrara Chakra, top of the head, and avoid having any loose hairs. If one has short hair, they need not worry about tying the hair up. Ideally, the style of hair up that the yogi should have is the Shiva Jatas. More Atma Pramana from the Supreme Pontiff. You know there are many points in the head which need to be constantly pulled, loaded. Excuse me. Sorry for the glitch. So the Atma Pramana says, you know there are many points in the head which need to be constantly pulled, loaded. So inside awareness will be raised to a very high point. See, for your mind to possess the brain completely, the many points of the brain need to be awakened, kept alive. If I have to put it more raw way, how many of you had the problem of this hot flashes in your life? Even men go through that. It's not that only women during the menopause time go through. Even men go through that, the hot flashes. The hot flash is nothing but your brain trying to recoup from the nervous breakdown. Your brain is not able to hold the activities of your mind, both trying to settle that friction. Getting healed is hot flashes. Thus, jatas are all the help for your mind's activity getting settled with your brain. So larger mind activity like Turiya Tita experiences can be bolted in your brain with jata. More pramana for Shiva jatas. Now I will explain about the wearing of jatas, the matted hair. The yogi can wear the braided hair forming a coil on top of the head. Those who are with shaven head should not wear the matted hair. There are various patterns in braiding the locks of hair, jata, which are beneficent and auspicious. Now it goes on, the agamas go on to reveal the number of jatas which are allowed to be worn by the sadhakas, by the practitioners. Next segment is Aushadha. Aushadha is a sacred alchemy science from the ancient Siddha tradition. It combines sacred herbs, prana, the cosmic force energy, and most importantly, Shaktipada, that is entanglement energy of Paramashiva, the ultimate, which can be ingested or physically applied to enter into the body. Through this ancient science, the state, space, and powers of Paramashiva can be experienced, giving access to the 25 states of consciousness. Like how a perfect mirror reflects the sun perfectly, so does a perfect body reflect consciousness. The science of Aushadha, sacred herbs prepared as per Agamas, source book of Hinduism, revealed directly by Paramashiva, is a way to make the body like a pure mirror. Because certain herbs are capable of holding thought currents and transmitting them into you, they can be infused with a oneness experience during the Aushadha making process and directly consumed. Aushadha heals the physical, psychological, and physiological components of your being by tempering and transmuting the whole system, allowing you to be a pure reflection of Paramashiva, the pure superconsciousness. As a direct science from the Agamas, it is a direct teaching of Paramashiva revived by the avatar to raise humanity to the next level of consciousness. Next is applying bhasma. the Shastra Pramanas from Kamika Agama. It says, with the right and left hands, the sadhaka should apply the bhasma by smearing over his body. Such smearing of bhasma should not be done by the well-learned sadhaka in front of Guru, sacred fire, shrines of the deities, roads and passages, and being in the impure ground. In some scriptures, smearing of the bhasma in front of the shrines of the deities and of the sacred fire has been well recommended. The direction for the smearing of the bhasma has been laid down for the Brahmins in the Shaiva Agamas. If the sadhaka is not capable of doing this, bhasma udhulana, smearing of the bhasma, he may apply the bhasma in the style of 3 stripes, tripundra. More Shastra Pramana for applying bhasma from the Purvakamika Agama. Next is Jnananjana. Shri Guru Gita says, Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama, which means one who removes the blinding darkness of the eyes caused by the absence of true liberating knowledge by applying Jnananjana, the sacred black eyeliner, anointing the 3 eyes, which is of the essence and bioenergy of pure knowledge, and awakens the all-pervasive infinite eye, Chakshu, the intra-organ through which all that is seen. Onto that Shri Guru I surrender. Next is Kumkum and sandalwood. Atma Pramana by the Supreme Pontiff. Rubbing the turmeric and applying kumkum that detoxifies the intra-organ called third eye. Putting your attention on the third eye activates something called Ajna, means the energy to activate the intra-organ called third eye happens by putting your attention on it. Sandalwood is used to invoke divine energies. It is one of the most powerful medicines in Ayurveda for detoxing, cooling the body, healing wounds, and healthy skin. It's famous for its anti-aging qualities, but also in spiritual properties like clearing the mind and reducing stress. Before entering into the ritual of Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, all yogis should apply Jnananjana onto the third eye, Kumkum onto the third eye, turmeric onto the both temples, both sides, sandalwood paste onto the both temples, and bhasma onto all 16 points of the body. Direction for yoga. Beginning the ritual of yoga, all authentic yoga classes rituals begin with a yogi acknowledging Lord Shiva and their Guru. When you invoke the presence of the master, you are inviting the very energy and the source of your liberation. Without invoking the presence of the divine, yoga is reduced to a mere physical exercise. Shastra Pramana, which means the yogi should perform the yogic processes by offering his devoted salutations, namaskara, to the disciples, to Vinayaka, that is Ganesha, his Guru, and unto me, Ishvara, Paramashiva, by placing the self in the uniting space of oneness, being absorbed in restful awareness. Offering namaskara, Shastra Pramana from Kamikagama. With your heart absorbed in nothing but the Guru, let go of attachments to your status as student, spouse, parent, and to your social standing, fame, and cravings for accumulating wealth. It is true that those who direct all thoughts to me alone achieve the highest state. This supreme state can also be attained by wholehearted worship of the Guru, who is Shiva manifest in human form. Shiva Mula Mantra. The Shiva Mula Mantra is a mantra chanted internally before each and every yoga ritual. After acknowledging the outer Guru, you claim and state that same consciousness within your own being, experiencing Paramashivoham, that is, I am Paramashiva. The Pramana from Sarvajnanottara Agama states in the Yoga Pada section, without allowing the upper row of teeth to touch the lower teeth and without allowing the tongue to touch the corners of the mouth and keeping his eyes half closed and raised, the sadhaka should repeat the Mula mantra of Shiva in a perfect way as instructed by his Guru. After chanting the Sadguru Vandanam, chant the Shiva Mula mantra 11 times internally. Chant Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha, meaning I bow to the supreme consciousness, so that consciousness, who is my beloved teacher, I bow. Ritualistic cleansing. All Hindu rituals hold both a scientific and spiritual significance, including Achamaniyam, the ritualistic cleansing. It is a purification ceremony which plays an important role in one's conscious evolution. This purification ceremony or samskara is a process to free you from various vices, sins, faults, and is even said to resolve physical deformities. The literal meaning of the word Achamana means to sip. In Hindu scriptures, Achamana is a process of sipping water known as while reciting sacred chants. Achamanam is a purification ritual in which the yogi sips water 3 times from the base of the right thumb, also known as Brahma Tirtha. This process is repeated 3 times to free the yogi from 3 shortcomings, that is kayik, physical or bodily, vachik, that is verbal, and manasik, that is mental. It also provides physical benefits. Your throat is cleared from vata, air element, which is associated to Vishuddhi chakra, pitta, fire element, which is associated with Manipuraka chakra, and kapha, which is associated with Swadhisthana chakra, water and earth element, doshas, and you can clearly chant the mantra or recite divine names. Thus, this ritual helps unblock and cleanse the above mentioned chakras. More pramana for this cleansing process. After chanting the Sadguru Vandanam and Shiva Mula Mantra 11 times, take one udharani, that is spoon of water from the Panchapatra, that is cup, and pour it on the center of your right palm. Then with the chanting of the mantras, drink the water from the palm 3 times. The 3 mantras to be chanted are Om Attatvam Shodhayami Swadha, Om Vidya Tattvam Shodhayami Swadha, Om Shiva Tattvam Shodhayami Swadha. Then chant the Hridaya mantra, Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. So with these mantras, we perform the Achmana, that is the purification process with the help of water. With the base of the thumb, wipe the lower and the upper lips with the last mantra, that is Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Then wash your hands, touch So touch the lower and the upper lips with the index and the middle fingers, then wash your hands again, touch both the nostrils. So these are the different steps which you will be taken and guided along during the yoga session. That is then the conscious declaration, that is Sankalpa. In the ritual of Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, before beginning the asanas, the yogi first sits and declares the purpose for which they are there. They wake up so early? Why did they set this time aside for themselves? The context is clearly set from this point forward. I am here about to move my body in order to manifest the divine within me, Paramashivatva. I am the divine Paramashiva. So with this Sankalpa chanting, we set our will with the conscious declaration, setting the context of why we are supposed to begin the yoga ritual. These are the pramanas for the conscious declaration. Make anything repeated by your conscious becomes your unconscious and becomes your body. This is by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So this is the actual Sankalpa that is chanted. This will be chanted along with the actual yoga session, which you will be taking part in. Yoga is useless if, without the context of I am Shiva, yoga equals useless. In Hinduism, there is a purpose behind every action and inaction. When you enter into the ritual of yoga, you are following a science, a proven method from various Guru Paramparas. A Guru would take the science, initiate their disciples, who would then become Gurus themselves and continue to pass down this science. Included in this ancient Hindu science is the process of entering into the ritual of yoga. For thousands of years, the great masters that have come before, as repeated again and again, yoga is a ritual to awaken the Kundalini, and it should be practiced in a very specific way. So unfortunate it is that today millions of aspiring yogis are led astray on their path because of the disconnect between their practice and what the enlightened masters warned of before. You can practice yoga as much as you want, but unless you enter into the ritual in a specific method laid out for their disciples, their yoga practice is useless for their spiritual evolution. This is the Shastra Pramana, which means looking upon all the limbs of yoga, angas, as sameness, establishing your body in oneness, dissolve them equally in the Brahman. Without this, to try to straighten the waist or limbs or to bring them in equilibrium is as useless as if they were the branches of a dead tree. These are more pramanas. Some additional preparations for the ritual of yoga. Before all the rituals of yoga begins, there are a number of other preparations to align to which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has made us as a part of all Nithyananda Yoga Vinyasa Kramas. They are consuming 1 cup of turmeric water mixed with honey. This aids ahimsa honey, non-violent honey. This aids in the detoxification process. Wear black clothes. This protects you from absorbing any negative energies within your facility while your body is most susceptible. Remove your upper cloth or t-shirt for male bodies only to absorb the energy of the divine Guru. Wear a Kantamala, Rudraksha bead, at the throat center and Sundaravanams, that is hoop Rudraksha earrings. The sacred Rudraksha beads placed in these locations help raise the level of one's consciousness and manifest multiple powers of the third eye. Place an image of the Sri Chakra either above or below. With the presence of this mandala, the pure consciousness of Paramashiva and Parashakti will be infused into the bio-memory. And a cup of water and spoon from the puja kit for the ritualistic cleansing, that is Achamaniyam. Facing towards the east, and a set of Karlakattes, that is wooden weights, dumbbells, or any preferred method to apply external weight to the body. So these were the preparations which are needed and necessary to begin to enter into the ritual of yoga, the Nithyananda Yoga, as will be guided in the next and coming segments. Thank you. So we end this session with a Purna Mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavad Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you. Nithyananda.